Hello everyone. Today we're going to go over a workflow that helps automatically generate and publish posts on Telegram and then reformat them and automatically publish an expanded article with images on a website, provided that the site is built on the WordPress CMS. Let's take a look at what this workflow consists of. The first node is the schedule trigger node, which allows you to schedule the launch of this workflow with various frequencies. Next up, we are going to take a look at the nodes that... The first node is the connection to Grok. The primary reason for this approach is that the Grok 3 model can search directly within the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter. This unique capability makes it possible to quickly identify emerging topics and conversations that are currently gaining significant popularity. However, it's important to know that this search function is optional, and you can certainly replace it with something else. For example, as an alternative, you could use a pre-made table of data that you have already prepared, of search queries, intent, and some description in order to search, for example, via Perplexity. In this particular workflow, I begin by searching for currently popular trends on the social network X, utilizing the Grok tool for this purpose. Once I have gathered these insights, I then proceed to compose a post that is directly based on my findings. As the final step, I publish this newly created entry on my Telegram channel. In this particular case, that is really all there is to it. And so basically I could completely stop this workflow right here if the only thing I wanted to do was to post to Telegram. And it's important that the content is presented specifically in this particular format. However, in order to avoid the inefficiency that comes with creating multiple separate workflows, I have set up a system that automates posting to both our Telegram channel and our official website, which is based on WordPress, all at the exact same time from right here. The very next step is to carefully select the single most trending topic from our content digest. And then, based on that specific topic, I will go ahead and write a brand new post. Then I proceed to clean the text up. This is a crucial step where I focus on removing any of the markdown formatting that is used, and I also get rid of other miscellaneous symbols that might happen to be present. I select the topics of this post and look for overlapping topics in Perplexity in order to grab links from there and fill the post with them. Now, I need to add the required outbound links into my post, which is a necessary step to fix the specific links we identified at this stage. To do this, I will go ahead and take the correct information for these links directly from the prepared table you see here. To start, my process involves aggregating a comprehensive collection of previous pages and posts that I have sourced directly from Google. Following this initial step, I then proceed to take these valuable links and strategically integrate them into the content of a specific article that I composed at an earlier time. Now for the next step, I'm going to convert the content into a plain text format. The fundamental reason for taking this action is to make absolutely certain that any special symbols or formatting characters that might be present in the text are removed so they do not negatively affect our subsequent operations. Then, by making use of the SerpAPI, I perform a search for suitable images on this topic so that we can fill our article with plenty of pictures. And here, I am also converting the located hyperlinks for these particular images into a simple plain text format so that I can then compile all of this information together for the large language model and instruct it to place the links to these images inside the response. Our article. And output an HTML page as the result. The next thing I do is extract the title and the slug from the article as separate pieces of information. Then I highlight the title. This is a crucial step, particularly if the article was originally written in a different language. This highlighted title is then fed into MidJourney to generate a fitting cover image for the post. Finally, I generate the meta description. This is the HTTP request node, which through the WordPress API, it publishes content on my page to exactly the correct location here on my website. After that, I use the user API in order to generate a picture within MidJourney. I send it for the initial generation, wait for a moment, and then I send the upscale command to fully enlarge it. Here, I always choose the first option. You could make it more complex, but I just pick the first one and do the upscale, then wait for the result. And again, through the WordPress API, I update the meta of my post. And I mark in the table that everything is done. Okay, so now let's go ahead and break this down in a little bit more detail for you. First and foremost, as I have already mentioned previously, what exactly do we need in order to successfully utilize this particular workflow at all? Here we have a node for connecting with Google Sheets. For it to work, you'll need to activate the Google Sheets API in your Google Cloud Console. I'll show you how to do that a bit later. Here, we'll also need an API key from the SerpAPI service. So, you'll need to create an account there and get the key from it. Next, we have an account in text. This is a connection node. For the WordPress API, you'll need to go into the WordPress admin panel, open the settings, and enable the option to interact with third-party external applications. I'll show you how to do this later. Here's our node. For Telegram. Accordingly, I've already selected a Telegram account here. If you need to create a new one, the base URL will be the same for all. Here, you need to paste the token that we copied. Now let's take a look at how to create a new bot for Telegram. To do this, you'll need Telegram's native bot called BotFather. Here is its address. We go into it. You can use the menu. Here we have the new bot command. And the first thing it asks is to enter a name. We go ahead and just type the necessary information in and then send it off. Next, what we need to do is move on to creating the bot's specific address. It absolutely must be unique. So after successfully completing that initial setup, we are then given a unique authentication token. This token is what we will use to authorize our subsequent actions within this workflow. Now that we have this token, the very next step is to introduce and configure the SerpAPI module. We are going to need it for the search. Here, you need to register accordingly. I copy this key and paste it into the integration node with SerpAPI. Here the authorization format is like this: query out, and we need to create an account. At the top here, it's API key everywhere, yes, and the value is the key that we copied. In order to interact with WordPress, we will need to navigate to the main WordPress admin panel, and from there we can then open our user profile. And there, find the Enable a Password section, check the box, and click Create New Password. In the node itself and in the Request tab, we need to select this type of authorization: WordPress authorization. Here, we need to enter our username and the password that we copied from WordPress. Alright, so once you have successfully completed the authorization process and deposited a minimum of $10 using the API billing system, you will then be given the option to create a brand new API key. You can do this in the dedicated API keys section of your account. From there, you can assign a custom name to this new key for easy identification, then copy the key, and finally paste it directly into our Perplexity node inside the n8n application. And the final tool we are going to use in this workflow is a service called userapi AI. This is an incredibly useful service that provides you with the ability to programmatically interact with MidJourney. It has an application programming interface, or API, and to use it we will need to create an account here here we need to insert a specific token from our Discord account, the one where the MidJourney bot is currently running. On their official blog page, they clearly describe exactly where you can go to get this token. So, after we have successfully created an account, we can then go into the API keys section. Once that's done, we will then have access to the required API key. You'll notice that there are already several pre-configured nodes available here for you to get started with right away. But if you find that you want to learn more details about how to properly use the API, I will also make sure to provide a helpful link to the documentation. Let's see how our workflow works. Let's run it. This will take some time. Your workflow has finished running, so let's see what happened here. Here we have the response from Grok. Here is the post that was written. We can view this post in our Telegram bot to see how it looks. Alright, next we have selected a topic here. And so we went through the entire chain and the article was published. So this is what the written article looks like. This is a fully automatically generated text with inserted images. So we have covered. This is the specific workflow that allows us to automatically publish our articles to Telegram and at the same time to our main website on WordPress. Please leave a comment below if something was unclear to you, and additionally, please let me know if you have any other automation topics you would like me to cover in a future video.